Remember when we said we'd stay together now until forever? Just us, just us. Said we wouldn't be like.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica Hickson, and I spent 5 years working my way up to the top of an MLM before realizing they're just not all that they're cracked up to be. My goal with this channel is to rescue some Huns, to prevent some from becoming Huns, and to also give those a voice who have left the Hunbot industry like myself.
It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling.
Today's small business shout out goes to Sarah with Pop Culture Bookmarks. Sarah actually sent me a few of her items. She makes hand crocheted items. She just started making beanies and cat toys, and she's going to branch out and start making more things. But she's a teacher just trying to make ends meet, so you should definitely go check her out. I will leave all of her links in the description below. Today's member shout out goes to Mira. Thank you so much, Mira, for all of your support. And to my channel members, thank you guys so much for your support. If you're not a channel member but you'd like to become one, there should be a join button down below, but I do leave it linked in the description of all of my videos. But of course, as always, the easiest, cheapest, and quickest way to support the channel is to just like this video, leave a comment down below, and of course, subscribe and click the post notification bell if you'd like to be notified every time that I post a new video, upload a new video. That's all the shout outs I have for you guys today, so let's go ahead and get on with today's video. All right, you guys, so for today's video, it's gonna be a little bit of a Zoom crash, but I did the Zoom crash last night, and a little bit into the video, I decided it wasn't going to be a Zoom crash anymore because, well, I'll kind of explain when we get into the video why I decided it was no longer going to be a Zoom crash, but it just changed halfway through, and we'll get into why. But next week, I'm going to upload the Zoom crash when it comes to the Autism Awareness America Zoom. I uploaded that deep dive earlier this week, and I haven't uploaded the Zoom crash portion of it yet just because I needed a little bit of a change of pace. I worked really hard on that Autism Awareness America deep dive, and honestly, when I exported that video, I almost shed a tear just because I was so proud of getting to the bottom of who was behind that page and who had been scamming people for such a long time, and being able to just compile all that information and put it into a video that I was like proud of, just to be able to uncover the truth that other people have probably uncovered along the last 7 years, but probably haven't had the platform to be able to speak on it, or have probably been hesitant to speak on because of the sensitive nature of the page. And to be able to do that and be proud of the work that I produced, like, it felt really good, but it was also very overwhelming to put it out there, and I just needed a change of pace. So I decided I'm going to wait to upload that Zoom crash until next week. So this video is totally unrelated to the Autism Awareness America Zoom. That one will go up next week. So I just wanted to throw that little tidbit out there. This Zoom crash is a top leader at It Works had their annual leadership retreat this past week, and I crashed their recap Zoom. Their recap Zoom is where they just get everyone on their team together and they basically go around and tell their aha moments from the leadership retreat. So everyone who was at the leadership retreat, they go around and they just tell what they took away from the Zoom, the leadership retreat, what part of the leadership retreat spoke to them the most. And this is very powerful for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. Yeah, I'm not going to say much more than that. We'll get into it. I'm also going to do my makeup while we do this because Chad had to leave out of town for a family emergency unexpectedly. So I'm on my own for a couple days this week. So we're going to go ahead and multitask.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys? Happy Tuesday. Okay, see, we normally do these on Sunday. See, it really threw me off doing it differently. But I really wanted y'all to hear that Zoom with me. Anybody was on that? Drop one if it was like so good for you. She's amazing. They're on fire. And so I was like, we can do both. We'll just push that on Sunday and push this when our leadership Zoom normally is. But also, y'all, we have 1 day left of August. I don't know where the heck this whole year is gone, where the heck I think this month flew by because I was like looking forward to having retreat the whole month. So it was like August was literally nothing but one weekend for me. But what is your goal as you are closing out August? We're going to wait for everybody to hop on, and until then, we're going to talk about our goals. What are you doing? Are you trying to complete a 4 and a friend? Are you trying to complete a cycle? Are you trying to get a couple more distributors? Maybe you just hit an enrollment goal for the month. Shout it out. Y'all, I got home and I came in. Okay, Jed, no, seriously, dude. Give me this. Okay. Anyways, I got home and I came in here to set up the Zoom and stuff. And it left me a note on my computer, you guys. I got home and I was like, how cool. She came to the house because I couldn't fit everything in my car for the retreat. And she left me a note. How freaking sweet is that? I know. There's going to be tears on here. We're all going to be emotional. And I just want to know, if you didn't earn retreat, okay, who's going to be at next year's retreat? Drop a 2 in the chat if you will never, ever miss a...
I just want to first point out that at least one of the girls that I can tell already is sitting there like this. Like sobbing already. We haven't even started talking about anything yet. She's just crying to cry.
Retreat in your entire life. I always say, and I even said it, I told you guys, I warned you guys, it was going to be the worst FOMO you've ever had in your entire life. Was I right, or was I right? I had FOMO and I was there. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I am like sad. I'm really sad. Like yesterday was like hard because we stayed up all night. Today I'm like, what is life? It's very hard to get back into routine after having a weekend like that. And even though we're not going to really be able to share it, and even when we were in the room this weekend, we were like, how do we share this, like this feeling? Any of you ever been to conference or an event with It Works, and you literally get home and you're like, how do I talk about this? How do I tell my team about it? How do I explain it? Because it's literally nothing but a feeling. It's hard to talk about how it's hard to talk about how something makes you feel. And so that's literally what we're going to try to convey to you guys tonight. So if you go through participants right now and you see one of your leaders that's not on, if you see one of your newbies that's not on, this is a powerful Zoom to get your new distributors on. This is a way for them to really see what we are about. And so I'm going to give you guys just a couple minutes to text your people and say, hey, I see that you're not on.
Okay, notice how she said this is one to get your new people on. She's well aware what's going to happen on this Zoom. She knows the love bombing that's going to take place. She knows this is going to be an emotional Zoom. She knows that they're going to tug on people's heartstrings. All I said in the chat was I pointed out the girl that I noticed who was like sobbing. And I said, are you already crying? LOL. Because she was legitimately like sobbing and wiping her tears. And they haven't even started talking about anything yet.
Log on to this right now. Go text your people and make sure that they are on here. Okay? Yeah, we already got somebody's crying. All right, we gotta get this started soon before everybody go grab some tissues while we wait too.
Okay, so I'm not going to be able to play the music because of copyright, but I just want to give you a feel for like the lyrics of the music that they're playing, because the music is a huge part of the emotional manipulation aspect of these retreats. So the lyrics of the words, I might have to look up the song, but basically the meaning behind the song is it says, I can tell that you're hurting, but pull back the curtain. Who told you that the fight wasn't worth fighting? So it's like this deep emotional song about, babe, I can tell that you're hurting, like quit holding back, let down your guard. It's like this Christian song that's just, let me just look up that song actually. Okay, so the lyrics say, I know you're hurting, I can see it in your eyes, so pull back the curtain and take off your disguise. Whoever told you ain't worth the fight, the cross tells a story that'll change your mind. 'Cause there's only love in the heart of God, no room for shame in his open arms. There's beauty from ashes, so come as you are. There's only love in the heart of God. Come, prodigal children, it's never too late. Run home to the Father, let him clothe you with grace. Bury your burdens, break free from the fear, step out of the shadows, there's no judgment here. No room for for shame in his open arms. There's beauty from ashes, so come as you are. There's only love in the heart of God. He's not sitting there shaking his head, writing you off, leaving you lost. He's not sitting there shaking his head, wishing he'd never went to that cross. He's not sitting there shaking his head, writing you off, leaving you lost. He's not shitting the... He's not sitting there shaking his head, writing you off. So they're trying to prey on your emotional, and they're like using that faith and emotional manipulation aspect of it, like hard during these retreats. And the musical side of it is really a large part of it when it comes to the retreats. Like even the musical side of it on these Zooms, just listening to this music gets it for me. Like I could tear up just listening to this music. Music is a huge trigger for me, like emotionally. Just listening to this type of music could do it for me. So like getting on this Zoom, I'm sure that girl probably started tearing up because they're probably playing the same music that they heard while they were at the retreat, and it's bringing back those same feelings that they triggered while they were at the retreat when they were having them dig up all of these fears and vulnerabilities that they have them dig up while they're at the retreat.
I could listen to that song like 457 times, but I'm going to start recording this really quick.
Recording in progress.
Okay, my friends, I'm so excited because tonight we are doing our Light the Way Summit retreat kind of recap for you guys. So we had 25 girls earn this retreat here in Texas this past weekend, and we know that all of you guys were probably watching our stories, wishing that you could have been here, and just wishing most of all that you could be in the room with us and you could have heard the conversations, you could have done the things that we did. And so we want to make sure that not only we got to be a part of that retreat, but that we bring it back to you guys. And I don't know about you, but if you've ever been on a conference recap Zoom, an event recap Zoom, any kind of recap, they're always incredibly powerful because what we do is we take the entire weekend and take the best parts of it and put it into an hour-long training. So I want you to unplug, turn your phone down, take your little...
Okay, so first thing I want to point out, they said they put it into an hour-long training. This is not a training. We've asked, little bit of a spoiler alert here, there are a bunch of people from my page on here with me, and we ask a million questions in the chat. Not one of them, okay, one of them gets answered. The rest do not get answered, so this is not a training. I asked in the chat, what do I need to do to be there next time? Apparently words are hard today. I asked, what do I need to do to be there next time? Because I wanted them to tell me that one of the stipulations was that you needed to recruit so many people, because I want them to admit to the fact that there is an emphasis on recruitment and that they're incentivizing recruiting, but they wouldn't answer what the requirements were to be there. There was no training to this Zoom. You'll see what this Zoom turned into.
That you want to post on your story, take your video right now, and I want you to flip your phone over and just put it down, and then I want you to plug in. You don't even have to take notes. Yes, I'm saying that. You don't have to take out your notes, okay? I'm not even going to give you my percentage statement I always do and get your pen and paper out, okay? I just want you to be plugged in. I want you to just come as you are, in your PJs, whatever, eating dinner, whatever, and just take in, even if this isn't an hour, every single word that is spoken, because it's going to be powerful and it's going to be very, very good. There's a lot of girls that literally, I don't think their lives will ever be the same after this weekend. And as cheesy as it sounds, when you get in the room with people like that and you have the conversations that we had, there is truly nothing that I can even do to explain it. And so I just hope that by the end of this, you get just, oh my Lord, another toy. You just get the smallest of feeling, just even a section of what we felt this weekend. And so also, this is your final and last reminder to never, ever miss another leadership retreat again in your entire life, and do everything that you possibly can every time that we have a retreat, and make sure that you earn it, whether it's a corporate retreat, your leader's retreat, my retreat, no matter whose retreat is announced, you get in the room, because it is exactly what's going to change your entire business in your life. So I'm not going to go in any particular order. If you didn't tell me you were speaking, I'm just going to assume that you are. And I just want everyone to share something. There are also girls on here that are even nervous to share with you guys. So everyone make sure that you're cheering them on and hyping them up in the chats. But without further ado, we're going to popcorn this. So it's going to be quick. If you forget to say something, just drop in the chat. My phone died. it's back here charging, so put it in the chat and say, hey, I need to add something. But who's ready? Who's freaking ready for this? I'm so excited. Okay, so no particular order. I am going to start with, so I made most of you guys co-hosts, so y'all can just unmute yourself, but if not, just put it in the chat. So what was your favorite part?
I had a feeling you were going to pick me first. Hi. So my favorite part was honestly just realizing that no matter where you're at in this business, whether you've been in for a really long time or haven't been in for a really long time, there are seasons when you're going to feel lost. And I was in that season. I've been in that season. And just knowing that surrounding yourself with the right people, there's always somebody there that wants to help you get back on track, and that you're never, ever alone in this business, even though you feel super alone sometimes. There's always people that are going to have your back. So that was one of my biggest takeaways was
I want you guys to take note of the recurring theme that comes with each of these people that are speaking. Each of these people that are speaking, the majority of them, take note of where they're at in their journey going into this retreat. Take note of whether they're at a good place in their business or if they are at a bad place in their business going into this retreat.
Y'all got me back in gear to kick ass.
I'm so freaking excited about that too. And y'all, had to leave early. Okay, she was only there for, I guess, 2 days. We all cried when she left. And before she was even leaving, she was bawling. But I love that. And I think that is so true, because every single one of us on this Zoom, and even not on this Zoom, the people that aren't on it are probably in the season that she may have been before this. And they need to be plugged in, and it's your job to make sure that you keep them connected, because we basically drug her, and she came and she had so many other things to do, but she made it a priority to be there. And so if you ever find yourself in a season like that, think of this moment right here and just remember that you just have to come as you are. There's always a seat at the table for you, no matter where you are in your business, and we want you to be there, because at some point, every single one of you are going to be in that position, needing to be around us. So I love it. I love it. Okay.
Golly, you guys, this weekend was absolutely incredible. And kind of like was saying is I just kind of walked into this weekend with my hands wide open, and I was like, you know what, I hope that over this weekend, I plan on leaving with my faith in my cup being so full. And just the last few months, I've lost my walk with God, and it's just something to where when something happens in my life, I haven't been turning towards him like I typically would. And I know that's some of y'all are like, what? You are always so loud on Zooms, but I literally save all of my tears every single year for a retreat because I cry so hard. And so one of the things that spoke out the most to me this weekend, I don't remember who said it. I think it was on one of the videos that we had gotten, but it says, darkness will tell you everything that you're not, but God will tell you everything that you are. God is trying to attract us while the enemy is trying to distract us. God will correct you, and then he will redirect you. What has God told me to do, but I haven't done yet? And that was one of the biggest things that I think, I realized this weekend is what we have our hands on is something so incredibly special, and that so many people out there are praying for. And, I walked in and I was, I've been trying to go after my success bonus. I've been trying to, earn my 4-in-1s as many as I can. But a lot of times when we're so focused on what our goal is, we lose track of what our team's goals are. And the people that we're bringing into this business that don't yet see that vision, and just being able to talk to everybody, the people that have been here for a while, and then the people that are brand new that had never been to an event before, it just kind of opened my mind. And I was like, you know what, if these newbies are feeling like this some type of way, I want to be able to bring those new distributors in, and I want to teach them the word of God right off the bat. So that was my biggest thing. I cried the whole way.
That's confusing to me because, I understand Christians feel that they need to share the word of God with everyone, but with them, I don't like to get into this because I know that people feel differently about religious stuff, but this is a business for them and they feel that they're business owners. What if people coming into it are not Christians? And you'll see that this Zoom and this leadership retreat in general was essentially a Bible camp. It was all Christ-based. That's all they did the entire time was talk about God and do religious-based things. What if the people coming into it were not Christians? Then what would they do? They would be extremely uncomfortable, I don't know. It just seems really wrong to make like force that upon everyone. I don't know. And let me tell you, I'm a Christian. Like, I believe in God. I'm a Christ follower. But like, it just seems wrong to me for them to base everything in their business around that, not knowing what the people coming in believe.
The entire time. And I know leaving this retreat, surrounding myself with these women, I just want to say completely changed my life. Just sitting there and talking to me, that when we talked on the swing for 2 hours, you know, I pulled her to the side, and I don't know what told me to. And I pulled her to the side and I said, hey, let's go outside and let's talk. Like, I've never met you. Let's talk. And I didn't know that when we were sitting on that swing that night, that would have been the thing that just completely changed my life. And so it was incredibly special. And y'all need to be at retreat every single year.
Okay, we're 10 minutes into this. I'm sweating and I'm getting choked up already, and I think that you're gonna hear his name a lot this whole video here. So we're gonna go to next.
Oh man, okay. So I was gonna show you guys this really quick. It's like a 20-second video because I want you guys to just see the moment that my life changed. Somebody literally caught it on camera. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, so that was literally, I know it doesn't look like a lot to y'all, but I'm shaking. Listen, I shake, sweats, we just get through it. But so I came to a retreat and I knew that my business was going to be changed. That was like the one non-negotiable. That was why
So in case you couldn't tell what was happening in that video, I'm sure you couldn't. She was on a dock and they were at like a lake house or something for this retreat. They were jumping off of a dock into the water. They were like overcoming fears. This girl was running off of the dock and jumping into the water. And that was what changed her life.
there. So I thought, I came into this company. I didn't believe in anything when I came into this company. I didn't believe in God. I had no religion, nothing. And that changed about 3 months before I went to retreat. I miss you guys too. And so the whole time I was at retreat, I was like, well, I'm scared. Like, people are making TikToks. They're
Okay, and in the chat, somebody asked, and I'm pretty sure this was somebody from my group. Actually, I know this is somebody from my group. They said, maybe a weird question about the retreat. Would I feel really out of place going next time if I'm not religious at all? Like, was there a lot of religion and praying? And like they said, this was a training call, right? No, nobody answered that question.
saying like they're having a good time, and I'm just like kind of there. And a couple days later, she's like, hey, everybody grab your phones, we're gonna go up on the dock. And the dock's like 2 stories high. And she's like, we're gonna jump off. And I'm like, no, we're not. And we get up there, and there was just like this FOMO, like everybody was doing it, everybody was having so much fun, and I wanted to do it so bad. But I didn't want to let go of control, because I'm a control freak. And I feel like I'm safe if I have control. And when I came out of the water, you guys, I don't even know how to explain it. I just didn't even feel like the same person anymore, because I did the one thing that scared me. My biggest fear is heights and brown water. Actually, I don't do brown water. I'm a Florida girl. But the point that I'm trying to make is just letting go and just being like, all right, like I was literally praying the whole way to the water, like, God, please don't let me die. And I came back up and everything was okay. And I know that might sound so funny, but it just was the moment that changed my life, was just letting go. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's time to let go. We sit back in our business and we question, why is nothing working? Why is everything falling apart? Why don't I have the BB? Why don't I have the things that I need? Because you're stopping yourself. because you're running to the end of the dock and then you just stop and say, I can't do it, and leave it at that. And you can't find what the break is, but that's your break. You're making it too hard.
The saddest thing to me is hearing where these girls were going into this retreat, knowing that the vast majority of these girls were not in a good place going into this retreat. They were doubting themselves, doubting their place in the business, questioning themselves in the business, questioning the business itself. And then they go to this retreat for a couple of days around all these people who are all being brainwashed to believe the same thing. And then they come out, and then you can just see the difference in them. Like, you can see the brainwashing and how much different they are. It's wild to me. And I was having a conversation with some of the girls from my Facebook group, and they're just like, how does this happen? And I'm just like, you can't explain it unless you're there. Like, the music, the sleep deprivation, the breaking you down and building you back up. They'll talk a little bit later about some of the activities they did, which were the same activities that we did at our leadership retreat, that break you down and then build you back up. The love bombing, the getting down on your level to, like, trauma bond with you. All of these things make you feel like they love you so much and they have your best interest at heart. So coming out of it, you feel like you're on this high. Like, you feel like you are invincible. That's what all of these girls are feeling right now. Oh, it's so crazy to me. And I can't even fault these girls for feeling this way or talking like this. Like, this girl legitimately feels like her life was changed. I feel awful for these girls. And this is why it changed from a Zoom crash to, like, I can't even crash this Zoom because I feel so bad for all of these women that are speaking on here.
Sat down and was talking about, like, some of the things I was struggling with in my business. And whenever she explained it to me, like, my jaw dropped and she laughed at me because I was like, I've been doing this backwards. I haven't been doing this the right way because we make it too hard. Because we feel like if we have control and do what's comfortable and what feels safe, that's what's going to make us successful. But that's literally what's holding you back. So stop holding yourself back. Stop telling yourself that you can't because you're not thin enough or you're not pretty enough or you don't have blonde hair. Who freaking cares? Literally no one. And I promise you, the one last thing, I'm sorry, I promise, but the one last thing that really, really, like, blew my mind, I'm just going to show you guys this actually because, so we went around the room, right? And we a picture of us, and every single girl from the retreat, like, wrote, like, their favorite thing about you or their favorite memory with you from retreat. And then we sat around until like 2:00 in the morning playing this game called Reverse Gossip, where, like, you had to say something good about every single person in the room. And you know what I realized? All those terrible things that I thought about myself, nobody thinks that. Like, you're sitting here and you're like, I'm so scared to post a story. I'm so scared to show my face. I'm scared to go live. People are going to think. No, they don't. Literally nobody thinks that but you. So it's just a matter of just flipping that switch in your brain and forcing yourself to see that you literally have everything that it takes. And God changed my life at this retreat. That's all. That's all, you guys.
Okay, I have something to say about this, but let me blend this out first so it doesn't dry. Okay, so this Zoom actually opened my eyes a little bit. Not opened my eyes, but it made me think about something a little bit deeper. These girls all feel like this business changed their life. This leadership retreat changed their life. But they're all touching on the fact that they're surrounded by all of these women who are supporting them and loving them and welcoming them with open arms. But take out the business aspect of it and they just have the women who are welcoming them with open arms. It Works has nothing to do with it. But in the same thing, you guys, like, if they weren't financially benefiting their uplines would not give a shit about them. That's the problem here, which means that the only thing that's holding them together with all of these people is It Works, which means that it's not the business that's saving these people. It's not the business that is changing these people's lives. It's a group of friends that are lifting each other up and caring about each other genuinely. And you know what that got me thinking? Like, we need to do better. And this is not some, like, on my high horse, like, we need to do better. But, like, they're sitting here talking about how wonderful it feels to, like, hear people tell you, like, how wonderful you are as a person and all of the things that they love about you and like their favorite things about you and how good that makes them feel, and that having all these people around them tell them the things that are true about themselves just uplifted them and made them feel so good. Like, why don't we just do that naturally for each other? But instead, what we do is we go around and we blast each other on social media, because why? We go on our stories and we say, blah, 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 is blah, 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 blah. Because why? Because why? I don't understand. I can't stand it. Okay, now that I'm like editing, I want to try to formulate my thoughts a little bit better. So what I was trying to say was, these women touched on a number of times that this was more about the friendships for them. They felt like they had a community of women who just loved on and supported them, and that they would give all the money back if they had to. Like, it wasn't about the business for them. It wasn't about the money. They just loved this group of women so much. So then it got me thinking, I was just like, why? Like, if these women can be saved from MLMs, like the only reason that they're joining MLMs is to be loved on and supported by a group of women. Why? Like, they could be saved from MLMs by being loved on and supported by a community of women that doesn't cause them financial, mental, and emotional distress. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could find these things within other communities of women. So why are we not doing better about creating a community of women that can like uplift and support women in other ways? I said I was going to do a better job at formulating my thoughts, but here I am not doing a better job at formulating my thoughts. Okay, so I feel like we, one, as women, but two, as a community like of anti-MLMers, are doing a poor job of creating a community that is like welcoming and loving and accepting of people. Okay, so let me just first focus on like anti-MLM community. Why would MLMers join a community of anti-MLMers when we're not creating a space where MLMers feel like they can come and be loved and welcomed? And I'm going to touch on it a little bit coming up here in this video, but we don't create a space where anyone can feel welcome. And I think that's counterproductive to the movement. If we are looking to move the movement forward, I don't feel like we're doing a great job of creating a space where the people within the group of women that we're looking to reach will feel welcome. That's the anti-MLM side of it. As women, as a whole, why don't we just do better about lifting each other up and making each other feel good about ourselves? Like, these people are joining MLMs to feel loved and respected and good about themselves. Like, all of these women's lives were changed because people told them things that made them feel good about themselves. We could do that for each other. Like, what? Anyways, all I'm trying to say in this part of the video is, why wouldn't someone join an MLM when they're receiving this type of love and support and community and feeling good about themselves in this type of way, when in the outside world they're seeing people tear each other apart? And like, for instance, the anti-MLM community, why would someone join the anti-MLM community where people are negative and tearing each other apart publicly on social media, and they're not creating a loving and supportive community? Why wouldn't they just stay in their MLM? Like, why would they jump ship and join a community, a movement where people are claiming to be saving people from MLMs, but publicly tearing each other apart on social media? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, back to the video. This is just me going off on a different tangent, but I just feel like we collectively as a whole have gotten into this, like, it's become a competition with each other about life nowadays. Like, nobody can just like coexist and just love one another. It has to be a competition. It has to be like, oh, you're left wing, I'm right wing. I'm better than you because I believe this and you believe that. Why? Why can't we believe two separate things and coexist and say, wow, you are beautiful. You have beautiful hair. I love the way that you styled your hair today. Even though you believe something different than I do, I think you're beautiful. No, instead, it has to be, you believe something different than I do, so I think your hair is effing ugly. Why? I just feel like the common denominator for all of these girls on this call is that they had a group of women who were so welcoming and supportive and told them all of the things that they loved about them. They found friends when they needed friends, which they don't have to find in an MLM. But that's where they're going to find these things, because in the outside world, they can't find that. Because in the outside world, what we're doing is we're blasting people on social media for things that don't deserve blasting. Just my personal opinion. Anyways, let's continue.
I love it. So, since we talked about you, it's actually my aha moment from the whole entire retreat, because when we played reverse gossip and we were sitting in the living room and it got to me, sitting right next to me, and she looked at me and she said one thing, and she said, not only did you save my life, you saved my life after this life. And it literally made me ugly cry, because it just makes you realize this business is not just about money. It is not just about joining something that you're going to make an extra $500 a month for. It's not just about enrolling the next distributor and getting the next four and a friend and getting the next cycle and getting your $4,000 success bonus and finding the success and promoting. Literally, this business is about changing people's lives. I believe in God before this business, and I don't know where you're at in your faith walk, but that to me is the most powerful thing. That literally, there's nothing else that beats that. No money, no friends, no business, no house, no car, no nothing can beat what that can do. And you are here for such a time as this to do so much more, and you don't even know it yet. And some of you may not realize the impact that you have, whether that's giving people confidence, giving them a community of people, whether it's giving them a way out. This is the vehicle to a better life. And everything that this business has given me, I didn't expect it.
The sad part is, like you can't argue that, like, what if God was using this girl who found this business when she was 18? What if he was using her to get to this other girl to, like, you know, bring her to God? Like, whatever you believe, like, what if that was happening? But also, like, this young girl found this, it works, when she was 18 years old. Of course, she's 20-something now, but, like, she found it when she was 18 years old. She doesn't know anything, but it works. I was having this conversation with a couple of girls in my group. They're like, do you think she knows what she's doing? Like, she literally just said, would she say God is using this as a vehicle? Like, no, God is not. No, he does not like your MLM. He does not approve of your MLM. He does not approve of any of these tactics. No, he's not. This is called faith manipulation, what you're doing. They were like, do you think she knows? And here's the thing. I think she knows that not everyone can do what she has done, and not everyone can get to the top. What I don't think she knows is that there are other ways to make a living. I think that she thinks, I've already built this. There's no other way to make the income that I'm making because I didn't finish college and, you know, I don't have anything else to fall back on. I think she thinks this is her only option. So I think she believes that she has to continue running with this because she doesn't have anything else. I don't think she realizes the damage that it's actually doing, which is so sad.
And so just her saying that right there just showed me that whole retreat, everything that I do every single day, every training that I do, every morning when I get up and show up on my stories, it is not just to sling coffee. It's not just to throw raps at people. It's not just to help people lose weight and make money. It is to help people save their life with this business in so many more ways than they could ever even imagine. So thank you for that. Okay. I know you're on your phone in the car, but I still think that you should be able to share. If not, put it in the chat. I kind of recruited you.
I'm the passenger, don't worry. So basically, this weekend was everything I didn't know I needed. For those of you that know, I've been struggling so hard the past few months, just with the whole like team aspect, leader aspect, and just having that support. And I had been wanting to talk to her for so long, and pulling her aside and just basically like clearing out all my dirty laundry. I mean, it did something to me. It did something for my mind, my heart, my business. And what's so crazy, you guys, is half the time that we're in a funk, we don't ask for help. We don't lean on somebody, and we don't share what's really going on behind the scenes because we're afraid, like, oh, she's supposed to have it all together. She's been here for a while. But in reality, it's the exact opposite. And so having that talk and really asking for help and just basically saying like, hey, I need a hug because I feel so lonely. It did so many things for me mentally and spiritually. And so if you're in a place like that right now, you feel lonely, you feel stuck, you feel afraid, you don't know where to go next, ask for help, pull a leader that you inspire or that inspires you, and just reach out, even call them. Like, do not be afraid to ask for help because we're one team, one mission here, and that is what we're all here for. Whether you have a leader, you have a team, you have none of the above, ask for help because you never know what they're going to say that could change your.
I love it. And it's very true, you guys, because I want to say too, many of you guys maybe that haven't felt like you're seeing the success that you want, you don't feel like you are enrolling the way that you want, whatever that may be, I promise you, if you just ask your upline and reach out for help, they can't read your mind. And I think that's the number one thing that when you are in that funk, it's the reason you're in the funk is because you're not pivoting, you're not asking for help, you're not going left or right or up to see and check your resources. And literally sometimes it's just one message that would change everything, or one pep talk, or one conversation, or one little missing puzzle piece that you're not doing. So ask for help. That's such a good tip. Okay.
Okay, I thought that I was ready to talk on this Zoom, but then I got on and I saw all y'all's faces again, and now I want to start crying. So I'm going to try to keep it together. But I really feel like God was definitely speaking through me that weekend. She said something that really resonated with me. She said that she was nervous to go because she felt like that she wouldn't fit in because she's covered in tattoos and maybe cusses a lot. But it was just, that's what made it so special, was that we were all so different. Every single one of us looked different. We didn't fit a certain mold. Anyone can be successful. Like in this business, anyone can make it to retreat. It's just a matter of wanting it.
This is kind of like what I was trying to get at earlier when I kind of like went off on a little tangent, is that like, I'm probably going to get canceled after this video. It's fine. You know what? I told myself if I get canceled for staying true to myself, then I get canceled. That's fine. I feel like within the anti-MLM community, we've kind of gotten to the point where it's gotten cliquey to where we're almost like shutting people out if they don't fit a certain mold. And in doing so, we're shutting out people who could be rescued from MLMs, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and say it, y'all. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like I said, if I get canceled for staying true to myself, I get canceled for staying true to myself. It's no secret. I've been pretty open on Instagram that, first of all, politically shouldn't matter, but it's not a straight line. However, I lean more conservative than I do liberal. The facts are people with MLMs also lean more conservative than they do liberal. The facts are also that a lot of the anti-MLM community also leans more liberal than they do conservative. Should not matter. However, a lot of the anti-MLM community also speaks very openly about how conservatives are trash. I'm not saying you can't be open about your views. It's your social media. You can do what you want. But when you're a part of a movement and you make such statements, here, I'll say this. When we accuse the MLM community of being a cult because they are blocking out people who think differently than they do, What makes us any better when we are doing the exact same to people who think differently than we do? So as I stated, people of the MLM world, the vast majority of them are conservatives. So if the vast majority of the anti-MLM community are liberal, like I said, there's nothing wrong with either side. It should not matter either side. But if the majority of the anti-MLM community is going around saying that people who are unvaccinated, regardless of why they're unvaccinated, are murderers, do you think that people from MLMs who are conservatives and are unvaccinated, for whatever reason they may be unvaccinated, are going to feel welcome to a community of people who are calling them murderers? Probably not. So what makes us any better when these people are feeling welcomed in a community of people who are welcoming them with open arms and making them feel loved and supported? I know my words are being jumbled. But what I'm trying to say is these women are feeling loved and supported and being accepted by this group of women who are love bombing them. We know that, but they don't know that. They're feeling this type of way with these women. And then they're seeing us on the outside who are, as a community, blasting each other on social media, calling conservatives murderers if they're choosing to not be vaccinated, calling each other out over feet pictures, yelling into our Instagram stories directed towards people of a different political stance, but not taking into consideration that the people that we're trying to reach with this movement that we're a part of, the vast majority of those people are a part of that political party. And I'm not saying not to have your own political stance and do what you want on your social media, but like, if we're really trying to move the movement forward, why do we need to make those harsh statements like, you know, like conservatives are wearing the blood of the COVID deaths, and that, you know, the mother who died from COVID is an asshole because she was unvaccinated and left her child without a mother? Like, why do those comments need to be made when the people we're trying to reach are conservatives, and some of them may be unvaccinated for reasons that you aren't aware of? You know, like, are we any better than the people we're speaking about if we're guilty of doing the same things that we're calling them out for, is what I'm trying to say. I digress. Let's move forward.
And just really, you know, focusing on your why and pushing for your goals. It was just an incredible weekend. I had so many aha moments, but I just really feel that when he said that, it was just amazing, because even I was nervous to go, because I was like, oh, I don't have my nails done. I didn't get my hair done. But he said, come as you are. And that's what we all did. And it was just an amazing weekend. And it was just amazing.
Words are really hard when you have so many emotions. I know, it's hard. Okay, what about your other half? What was your favorite part, my friend? Hyper up, shake your head. Yes, you.
I didn't know I was in the lineup. Well, I mean, I do have to say one thing. I did conquer one of my fears, which was water. God, talk about peer pressure. A lot of these women here. But thanks. But this being there this weekend and getting connected with so many of you that normally we're just, you know, it's just a box. It was like, we were like, well, who are you? And who are you? Okay, I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. But being there, I just didn't want to leave. I mean, when you're surrounded by this community, and it's just like we all are now sisters, and it's just growing and growing. So everyone has to be a retreat.
Amen. And y'all should have seen flying down that slide with her floaty. Okay. She said, I can't go down I don't know how to swim. And I was like, well, we'll be there. We'll catch you. It's only 6 foot. She said, do you see how small I am? You know, I'm shorter than 6 foot. And I was like, no, like, you can do it. She flew down that slide with that float floaty, like she was going like hell. And she did it, and she conquered that fear because I'm pretty sure it was that stood at the top of the stairs and said, we're leaving all of our fears here. Same reason why she jumped off the dock. Like, it was so impactful to watch that. So I'm proud of you. And if y'all haven't watched TikTok and her reel, you need to go watch her preparing for coming to a retreat. You will die at the video that she posted. You all have to go watch it. So good. Okay, we'll come back.
Hi, everybody. So I didn't want to leave, and I couldn't figure out I had so many aha moments, but I think the one that I am going to share is, it was kind of at the very end, right before I was leaving at like 2 a.m. But that's when all my emotions just came out, and I was hugging her, and she was like, you found your it. You have found like your home in this business. And I think everybody needs to experience that, because it really does change everything for you, and it changes your outlook on the business. And I think it grew my faith stronger with God too, because like I was saying, all I could listen to is gospel music after the retreat, and I still am to this day. So that's really mine, and just making sure that you know your non-negotiables and what you need to say no to. Like when your friends want to go to dinner, say no, because you need to get your stuff done. So that's good.
Time freedom, but when your friends want to go to dinner, say no, because you need to get your stuff done. But you know, that time freedom though.
My takeaway, just finding your it in the business.
Well, and I love too, just seeing like there and, just so many people that are in the business, just watching how so many of you guys have just grown up here. Like, you're a wife now. Like, there's so many things that we've evolved into, and so many different aspects of our life that we've all walked into. And it's just so special to watch not only me grow up here, from the fact that I was 18 to I turned 24 next month. And it's so special because I feel like little baby, her first retreat, she was so shy, wouldn't talk, was like a recluse in the corner. And this year it was like everybody knew, like everybody could hear her talking, because she grew out of her shell. And that's really what this is all about. So, okay. With baby, hi.
Hey, you guys. Okay, so I am going to go back into my backstory. So I have been in this business once before for like 5 years. Okay, but let me tell you something. The first time I was around complete toxic people. This time around, it's like a total 360. Okay, every single person at that retreat, they didn't care who I was. They had never met me before. They accepted me for who I am. I had conversations with just about every single person there. I opened up. I didn't do that before. Being able to open up to people is seriously everything to me. And definitely the last thing that we did, the reverse gossip, changed everything. It seriously changed everything, because I come back home and I am removing all toxic from my life, because leaving that retreat, I walked out a complete different person than what I walked into.
This is another cult manipulation tactic, you guys. They want you to get home from this retreat and cut off the toxic people. That means cut off anyone in your personal life who are doubting the business, who are doubting it works, who are doubting you, is how they will put it, who are doubting the belief in you, who don't believe in you. They want you to cut off those people, because they only want you to surround yourself with the people who believe in the business.
Walking through that door, I wasn't the person I am now. But walking out, a complete 360 of myself, every single person that I met at that retreat is seriously one of my best friends. And I was able to open up to every single person there, because they didn't know who I was. They never heard of me before. They didn't know my past. That's all I got.
Do you know how much of a bad mamma jamma your mom is?
And you know what's sad is, again, this recurring theme. Where were these people at going into the retreat? They were not in a good spot. They were not in a good spot in their business. They were doubting themselves. They were doubting the business. And then they go to the retreat within just a couple days. Look where they're at. They're coming out a changed person. Their lives are completely changed. Like, these people are crying, talking about this. Cult behavior.